What don't matter? Go. It's 7.
Oh, hey there. Welcome
You
to
did a video.
Huh? I didn't think we were going to do that every time.
Oh, I thought we were doing it every time.
I thought we wanted to re-edit it anyways to get the new
I
logo
did.
on there.
It's already re-edited and uploaded.
Oh, well, maybe this is something you should have told me before we started.
Well,
now the live stream's all messed up, and now, like, we might as well just call it quits. That's
2 weeks in a row, Adam. 2 weeks in a row.
whatever. So anyways, welcome to the Colonize the Ocean live stream.
No, it's not.
Sorry, welcome to the Atlanta Sea Colony live stream. Sorry.
It can be. It can be whatever you want it to be.
Welcome to the Adam and Brendan's water show.
Wacky wild water tricks.
Anyways, I'm Adam Jewell. I am the more handsome half of Atlanta Sea Colony and the social media manager. And with me, as always, is Brendan, the Captain Traxler. Or do you want to go with the Anchor? I was trying to think of like some cool nicknames, like the Anchor.
Yeah, neither one of those work for me, honestly.
Really? Okay. Well, we'll work on it. Skipper? It's got to be nautical themed. Maybe it's
the Submariner.
Anyways, that's us. So, Brendan, how was your Christmas?
It was all right. I mean, the best thing was that people left me alone, and I was able to just be alone. And that's the best part of Christmas, is being alone.
That's a depressing thing, but I get it.
How about yours?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
We had a few. I missed out on one of them because I was like feeling under the weather one day, and it was going to be kind of a larger Christmas gathering. And with all the COVID scares, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I don't know if it'd be a good idea if I went. So I missed one of them, but otherwise, I mean, everything was pretty good. I mean, at this point, it's more about, my kids and all that. They had a pretty good Christmas. Plus, we got one more to go to on New Year's Day. So,
yeah, where are you in for New Year's? Because that is just around the corner.
New Year's Day, we will be going to my in-laws for Christmas. So, and that's where my kids are going to get spoiled the most, probably. So,
probably.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to having a car full of toys that we have to haul back and put in a house that we don't have room for. And I apologize that I'm sniffling so much. I literally just got inside from shoveling outside because we're in a mild snowstorm right now. So,
what's the temperature up there, Adam?
I don't know, cold. I guess I haven't checked the temperature, to be honest. I'm sitting here right on my phone. 20 degrees right now is what it is.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we don't want to talk about South Dakota and its crappy weather right now. So what's on the agenda today? We want to talk about
2021, man. It's
kind of go over what we accomplished in 2020 as far as like what our goals were and what we did meet, and then like what we got kind of going for 2021. In a sense, we don't have to get into this.
Sounds good to me.
I don't know how detailed you want to get with. I mean, obviously, we probably won't cover like what our bank account looks like and all that, but I mean,
give our routing numbers out there.
Yeah, we'll give out our. I mean, if you guys want to drop some money in there, we'll give you some routing numbers. I think that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
If you flash your debit card on screen, then they know what to deposit it to. So that always works really well.
I made up some flashy little things. I'll send it to you. You like the new little rounded thing?
What's that?
They gave us like new little rounded like icons and stuff like that now too. So the square ones.
I wasn't even noticing it.
For the Patreon members, I made some graphics that kind of breaks down what we talked about as far as our goals. And I'm going to put them out there. They'll eventually make it to social media as well, but just some flash little graphics to drop out there for the Patreon members so they can kind of see what we're doing and what's going on for 2021. So a little perk for those that are subscribed there and help us out.
Yeah. And we'll always cover that at the end too for the people that can and are willing to help.
But yes, so what did we do in 2020, Adam?
Well, as far as, do you want me to cover the parts that I know for sure? And then like you can kind of fill in the gaps?
You can't cover the parts you don't know.
Well, okay. You know some of the more details. So we kind of set up various goals on what we wanted to do as far as like how much money we would kind of wanted to save up. And obviously we're not going to cover that just because it's a little confidential at the moment.
$5. What was that?
I bought my dogs a giant bone and I set it on the table and it just fell off the table. So forget that noise. Anyways, so yes, we obviously won't cover financials, but from the social media aspect, I guess we use kind of Facebook as a metrics, and going into 2021, we're gonna kind of use metrics for the other accounts. And do you remember what our starting number was before we kind of created? It was like you had like what 200
to 400, something like that.
Yeah, followers on Facebook, and like we kind of ended the year with a little over 2,000. So I mean, quite a big jump. Which
that's
is
a year and a half, I think. Did that?
Yeah, I'd say. Well, I almost wish we could have figured, or from the time that we decided to start kind of tracking it.
Right.
We were probably at like a little under 2,000 at the time of like the 1 year mark, but
anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Granted, I mean, a lot of that was like we were promoting posts and promoting content to help get us those numbers. But I mean, at the same time, we also gained a lot of really, good contacts with it too. Yeah, you had a lot of people that just kind of, joined that like the page and follow the page. But I mean, you also have the ones that are like super involved too, that like want to comment on the stuff. They want to interact with us. And we've had a lot of people contact us about if we're hiring and stuff, which is really cool. Unfortunately, at this very time, we're not hiring people, but I mean, the future will require that we need some people. But so yeah,
I think on that point, we can quickly say that is one of the things for 2021 is to try to get a bigger base of people to help us out.
Yes.
Obviously, we're not just like you. None of us get paid at this point in time. We're that early on that I'm not getting a paycheck. My money's going into it, so I'm definitely not I'm getting a negative paycheck on the whole thing. But it's volunteer based, and getting people that have different skill sets, whether it is sales, whether it's marketing, business, anything, because there's no way that everybody knows everything, and so it's to have all those different blades in a Swiss Army knife there to be able to get this accomplished, because it's difficult for us to get it done just by ourselves, and so yeah.
Yeah. And rewinding back to the whole, I guess, what our social media presence looks like. Do you have the thing pulled up right now?
Which thing?
Of like what our goals for 2021 are?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay, so we're sitting at what? Close to right around about 2,200 on Facebook and stuff. So, and like I said, a lot of that was from us, like, boosting posts and stuff, which helped. But in order to try to redirect some of what little finances we do have, we're gonna try to quit boosting as much, and we're gonna try to like grow our social medias more organically, just by the content alone, and hopefully that'll create more followers without us necessarily having to like promote the posts and promote the pages. We want to increase our following on Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram as well. So yeah, what was our goal for Facebook? What did I say that I wanted for followers?
3,500.
Yeah, so 15, well, but 1,200 increase of what we're at now, give or take.
And I think it's easily do. We get a lot of people that share our content and stuff along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
So our current fan base and following base is amazing, and there's no buts about it. They're amazing, and we're just trying to constantly add to that. Once again, it's like I just talked about, trying to get more people involved from different aspects to try to get this thing moving ahead faster than it currently is. So that's the whole thing. Is we throw enough people at it, we're going to get. Eventually, we'll get this thing going. So yeah, and before you start going to Instagram, our Instagram recently has been moving organically. We've been getting lots of new followers on that, and that's probably our least posted to thing out there too is Instagram. So
it's trickier because it's graphics only, and a lot of what we share is like news articles and YouTube videos of stuff that's related to the.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And one of the things that we've kind of slowly grown into, sorry, my hat's all weird and it's bothering me, is that we are kind of slowly growing into a hub for like ocean tech or like aquatic tech news and stuff. Cause I try to make sure like the content we're sharing, like it revolves around like aquatic discoveries, aquatic breakthroughs, as far as like, even if it's like biology and stuff, whether, we're finding new animals out there, new species of whatever, anything that involves like renewable energy, whether it's like these floating wind turbines and underwater hydropower stuff. So like we're trying to, not only are we trying to promote what we're doing as far as like building an underwater habitats and all that, but also just have our social medias be a hub for news that involves a lot of that. And, hopefully we can just keep growing that as well. And just, even if we can get people interested in what we do based off of just the information that we can share about stuff that's somewhat related, that's a good spot to be in too.
Yeah. I do think that we, specifically me, needs to make more of an effort in 2021 about getting information out there of what Atlantis Sea Colony is, what we're doing, stuff along those lines. It's kind of just been like, hey, we're here. Let's post some cool articles and stuff along those lines. But there really hasn't been that much of a focus about Atlantis Sea Colony. I think that needs to change. And so that's definitely going to be a driving force personally for me in 2021.
Yeah. And so I guess straying on from the social media aspect, like what would be the next category we kind of want to go into?
So 2020 was a rough year. We can, like I said, we can blame COVID for all we want, but it affected business and affected us being able to do a lot of what we wanted to do, whether it was seminars and different meetups and stuff along those lines, to even contacting vendors. So we've got a roadmap for 2021 to hopefully address a bunch of that stuff, because hopefully we'll be able to do some stuff in 2021 that we weren't able to do in 2020. But that being said, we're definitely behind on our own personal schedule. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm completely content where I think we're in a good place. I think this time has given us some time to look and dive into the designs and make contacts. One of the we had one of our viewers, I don't know if he was viewing this live last week or not, but donated some money to us, and we started a great conversation via email. And I actually got 2 emails from him sitting right now I need to respond to before the end of the night. So it's stuff along those lines, that talking to these people that are interested in this platform of living underwater that we're trying to grow. And because it is such a niche thing, that there isn't that much out there about it. So people that are interested in it, it's hard for them to find information, and hopefully we can be that location for people can, message me and I'll answer what I can or point them in directions where they can. And if not, we can address it on these things as well as the website and social media.
Yeah. 2020 has been obviously crazy for everybody. I guess the one thing that bummed me out the most about 2020 is that, gosh, it was probably this time last year we started talking with Carly Jackson from the Seasteading Institute, and we got invited to do the International Space Development Conference, where you and I were both going to present or have presentations that we were going to present at this, this conference that, like, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all these other people have made. They had astronauts that were going to be speaking there this year. It's supposed to be in May, and then obviously COVID hit. They canceled it. I mean, that was it was May. I'm 90% sure it was May. Whatever. At the very end of May. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But that was the biggest bummer because it was, go meet up in Texas. A trip alone would have been cool. And but I mean, being able to meet a bunch of these people that, just get introduced to people that have knowledge that might be able to help us out, or even just network with people, that would have been an amazing thing for us. Because if we, struck up a good conversation with the right people, I mean, that could have led to other connections, that could have led to a lot of other opportunities. And, hindsight's 2020, obviously, but that I wasn't originally going to go with that pun, but it is there. But yeah, that part kind of bummed me out quite a bit, because I just felt like there was going to be a lot of opportunities that grew from that. But once again, it is what it is. And, that's not to say that we won't have opportunities like that in the future. But at the same time, we, with the podcast that we are doing, we've met a lot of cool people through that too. Made a lot of good friends doing that, and just the name still got out there. We still got in contact with, a lot of cool people. We have like a network of acquaintances of people that we could potentially develop more, I guess, working relationships with in the future, or that we can rely on these people to give us information and help us out. We've had plenty of people that have said that they would love to help out with certain aspects of it. So, but just to say it one more time, that part bummed me out, because I do think we could have had even more. I felt like it could have boosted us a little bit further, but it is what it is. That, and the trade shows, I think we were talking about DEMA at one point. I think we decided not to, even before the COVID deal, just because it wouldn't have made sense for us to go.
Right. I think at least I was going to attend it. We weren't going to have a booth or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were talking about buying a booth set up and all that, But then we got to thinking that's okay, spending money to do that when right now we don't have a lot to show for it, whereas maybe it would have made more sense to just go and talk with people that do have some information and go from there. But once again, COVID shut that down. So, but yeah, so that's one of the things I'm looking forward to the most in 2021, is just continuing to build connections with different people. And because I think that's going to be the key to this thing being successful, is finding the right people to help us out. And we'll probably dive into that a little bit too, but
dive into it.
Whew, I'm just full of puns today that are not intentional.
On fire. But yeah, no. I say for me, the whole I terrified of public speaking, so the whole conference thing was a mixed bag for me. But it was the opportunity was great. I still think that even due to it, regardless, like you said, we've made a bunch of great connections. We're continuing. When I started this whole thing on the social media, I didn't know how it was going to play out. I remember when we first got 1,000 people, I was like, holy cow, 1,000 people actually like this thing, even though it was through, boosts and stuff along those lines. It's the fact that people remained and stuff like that. So I am just completely humbled, first of all, that we have 2,000 people or whatever it is, liking us, and that we're asked to speak at a thing, and all these other opportunities being thrown our way. It's just insane to me. And once again, that's all on me, self-doubt or whatever you want to call. But yeah, it's cool.
So one of the things is there anything else we want to cover as far as what we wanted to accomplish in 2020 that we did or didn't do, or we just kind of want to more talk about what 2021 is going to be?
Like I say, 2021, but I say still I want to leave the real nuts and bolts of it to Patreon at first. So I think we'll just kind of be vague, and then I want to start like a little bit of discussion. What anybody else that's watching, what's their goals for 2021, and what's your skill set? Can you help us out?
Yeah. Can you help? I'm asking you.
Only you.
Only you can help build Atlanta Sea Colony. No, but we did what was it, last week, right after our last live stream, we kind of had a meeting about what our goals for 2021 are, and, set up some metrics for how we want everything to run. And I feel pretty good about going into 2021, not only because 2020 has just been a crappy year, but we have I think a better plan of how we're going to get this going.
My whole thing is, I think that, I've got an idea of how things should flow. And
what's Patreon? Wiley, you know what Patreon is, buddy. You watch Twitch enough to know what Patreon is.
I don't remember what I was saying now.
Sorry. Thanks a lot, Wiley.
Thanks a lot, Wiley. Is he going to be playing with us later?
Huh?
Is he?
I don't know. He made fun of my controller earlier that I bought, and then we kind of just quit talking. So we're not on talking terms right now.
Anyway, so yeah, I remember what I was talking about now. I got all distracted.
We're talking about how we feel better about 2021, and you're
yeah.
Was what I need to do.
Yeah, because I'm very much.
Keep talking. That is a good point.
I very compartmentalize everything, and I have a very almost OCD way of looking at stuff. So because of that, it's hard for me to sometimes see things a different way. And that's one thing I value in having Adam on board is giving me different perspective on how to do stuff. And my ideas and stuff for 2020, some of them weren't the best as far as how the process and how to get there. And so when we looked at it last week, we're changing up the way we do little things, reeling back a little bit too, not being so aggressive with it, and spreading some things out over a bigger period of time. So yeah.
Well, and I think, and not to get into the fine details of what our plans are, just to, like I said, keep it a little bit vague. But I guess one of our first steps that we talked about is we're going to kind of do some research on a lot of different, locations and some people and businesses that would be good partners, whether it be supplies, whether it be their location, whether it be just different types of people that could be interested. Not necessarily chasing after people, be like, hey, you want to give us money? You want to give us stuff? But if there's certain people that want to partner up with it, that want to help us, get what we need to build the first one. Because at the end of the day, we know that no matter what, it's going to be hard to get people to buy into this idea without first having something to show for it. But it's hard to have something to show for it without the supplies, the locations, the money. So we have a plan of attack that we're going to try to get after early. And that I think that if we, like I said, I'm being really vague about it, but we know what we're talking about. But that I think if we can tackle a few certain steps, that it'll make it easier for us to accomplish more confidence in investors and partners. And once again, if anything, we build connections with people. We maybe get people that can point us in a different direction that'll help us. So and really, it's on Brendan and I both that we have to step out of our zone of just talking to each other and doing the live streams, but we're going to have to start making phone calls to people and emailing people and mailing people, whatever it is, to kind of really start, talking to strangers about what we want to do. That's not an easy task to call up someone that, has never heard of this project and then try to convince them to help us out with it. So it's a daunting task, but all it takes is a couple people to really do that, and then we'll be in good shape, I think.
I just noticed the video you posted today was the same one I posted like 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's getting all the love today. So,
well, people like stuff better when I post. I didn't realize that was the same one. I'm sorry.
Whatevs. But anyway, it's a good video either way. I mean, it deserves to be put out there again. But we will crush it. Fabian Cousteau and Proteus.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about the whole video is about Fabian Cousteau and building Proteus.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where that came. Okay, so were you going to comment about what I just said about?
No, I think once again I think you said it well. Without going too crazy and too deep into the weeds here, it is we're looking at a more. What I was all about: build a thing and they will come.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're reversing that to an extent with, laying some foundation there for it. And at the same time, it'll give us more of the year to really partnership with hopefully some of our followers and patrons and stuff along those lines to get their feedback as we dive more into the design element and saying, here's what we're doing. Here's how we're doing it. You think this is going to work? Will this not work? How can you help type of thing? I really want that to be a focus of 2021 is being more group minded with this thing and not keeping it so invisible to everybody. I want to be more open. I want to be more out there. I want people's involvement, their ideas, their help, because I want to get this thing built.
Yeah. And I'm confident that if we stay aggressive, and like you said, how do I want to say it? If we stay, I guess, aggressive about the plan, there would be a very real chance that we could have this thing built, or at least started to be built by the end of 2021, I think.
I mean, we can start building it tomorrow if they had the money.
Well, yeah, if everything, yeah, we could win the lottery tonight and we could start building it tomorrow. So, I mean,
but yes, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and one of the big things that you're kind of working on is a physical spot to build the thing, because we have a general idea of the basic things we need to start off with. Obviously there's the fine details of all the different things we need to get or whatever that maybe you don't think of right off the bat, but we know the basic things of what we need. So a spot to start building it is essential, obviously, or somebody that has land that'll let us just kind of start plopping our stuff on and letting us start building on it. So once again, connections and all that. And so if you live in the Mississippi area, get a hold of Brendan. If you got some land that you don't mind us like setting some stuff on and start building, then
I'll be quiet.
Yeah. Well, there might be some power tools, but maybe like a jigsaw or something like that.
What's up, Marty? How's it going?
What up, Marty?
But yeah,
I want to call him Marty He-Man, but I know that's probably not how you pronounce his last name. By the power of Grayskull, man.
Yeah.
It's probably Heyman.
Yeah, it could be Heyman.
Like Brock Lesnar's guy.
I said, like, Paul Heyman?
He's going to tune out now. He's just like, you know what, guys?
Thanks for tuning in with us on your TV.
Close. Was He-Man close or Heyman close?
Yeah.
Woo! That was a Ric Flair moment right there. Man. He-Man.
He-Man. Okay. He-Man.
I never watched He-Man. Anyways.
I didn't either. I wasn't allowed to. We won't get into that though.
Yeah, that's a different live stream. Yeah, everything is a joke with us, Wiley. Get off of here if you're just not going to be nice to us. Hey, Wiley, I'm going to get a hold of you after this live stream and talk to you about a game. Anyways. But yeah, so we have a plan in place. we know what we want to do. What did he say? He-Man, but
Nice.
retired naval. What does that stand for? LCDR.
Is that Lieutenant Commander? Yeah.
Well, we know who's going to run
our acronym division.
Yeah. No, I just figured he could run the Atlanta Sea Colony Military Division. I mean, because eventually we'll have our own military.
Will we now?
I mean, probably not. We're not going to start our own country. We just want to build some units. But yeah, I don't have anything else added to that portion of it.
Oh, Lieutenant Commander.
Lieutenant Commander.
I thought it was.
Oh, I thought it was. Didn't realize you were better than everyone else, Brendan.
Anyway, well, thank you for your service and thank you for tuning in. Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
see, he's a prime example of the connections we need to make because he's probably got some pretty valuable experience and knowledge that would probably help us out. So,
and a lot of the Navy's, a lot of what the Navy has done with their Frogman unit and stuff along those lines came into no problem. Came into when I was designing the final what we're currently working with. A lot of what the Navy was doing is like they're already doing this. Might as well just use it. So yeah. I guess we really should be putting some of these comments up on the screen so the people that aren't on Facebook can see what's going on because we do have a Twitch user that's watching us as well. So, but anyway.
Oh yeah, I don't even think about it. I keep forgetting that that's one of the things you can do is put the comments.
Yeah, so probably need to start doing that too for those because otherwise it looks like we're just talking to nobody.
Yeah.
But anyway,
there we'll put that up.
Yeah, right. How long have you been following us, Marty? And while Marty's replying, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about as far as 2021 then?
No, I think, like I said, I'm beating a dead horse at this part, or at this point.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Is that it's really going to come down to like you and I have to be more aggressive about just getting a hold of people and also building kind of like what you said, a group of people that can help us. If they're willing to volunteer their time, like I said, at this point in the business, we obviously can't pay anybody, which sucks because we don't want to be those people. It's like, hey, can you donate your time and not expect anything out of it right away? But it's like, nobody likes to be those people. But at the same time, if it's just something that you want to be a part of, kind of like what I did too. I wasn't joining it so I could get a paycheck from you, but it was more so like I want to be a part of it. So with the social media stuff, I have manufacturing experience. So I mean, that part could come in play eventually.
And I say, with the goals in mind, we will in turn be revolutionizing livable space, which is the ocean. That has not been opened up to the common man before. It's only been available to science, and in some small instances, the man, but only for casual, everyday person, but for limited period of times. And even then, you still have to have scuba, or some way of getting down there. Involved you getting wet, and so that's what we're trying to change here is opening up the ocean. Very cool. Marty's response, hey, let's show to following that stuff like that was, yeah. Yeah, and Cousteau, I've seen one of my stuff before. Is watching him on PBS growing up as a kid. Sunday mornings PBS specials with Cousteau's was just like it was the best part of the week. And so it was that early on that really seeded all that this was that stuff there. So yeah, I think Cousteau is once again, even though he's been gone for a while now, he's still seeded all this and so many different explorers and dreams and stuff along those lines.
When did he pass away? How long ago was that?
Was it? Man, that's been
It was in the 90s.
no. I think it was. I want to say '09, but I don't think it was even that. Oh no, it was '90s. It was '97. You're right.
I was gonna say he lived to be a pretty old guy, didn't he?
Yeah.
Say 2009 seemed like he'd be really old.
Yeah. So anyway, now I've rambled and you've rambled and we've talked about stuff for about half an hour now. I guess those of you watching, what's your plans for? Yeah. So what is about the two atmosphere aspect that appeals to you versus a single atmosphere? Because obviously with the two atmosphere, you're going to have a larger decode time. So what is about? I'm curious why the two atmosphere appeals to you more than a single.
And now by two atmosphere, you mean it'd be like what, 60 feet?
Yeah, somewhere around there,
give or take.
give or take. It wouldn't be, yeah. Because my whole thing with, and I totally believe that's going to happen. We'll have those as well, but I look at it as anytime you and once again, I think that's where the Navy comes into play with you is too, and being a diver, that's not a big deal, but for my grandma, that is a big deal. That's not going to fly. So you're looking at kids and older people or people with handicaps and stuff along those lines. Sure, there's a bunch of handicapped people who dive as well. Yeah, I agree. I guess you can get deeper than 30 feet then too. But yeah, you'd have to still scuba dive down to it, or you'd have to have a pressurized lock off, and then you'd have to pressurize a sub or go through like a decompression room or something along those lines. If you're coming from like a sub or something along those lines. But yeah, obviously the first couple designs are going to be exactly that. They're going to be 1-2 atmosphere with a moon pool that you scuba dive down to. Basically, what they're doing with Aquarius and Jules right now. So yes, the big difference is it can be your own home, and that is I think the biggest appeal to all of it is it's your own. You're not sharing it. You're not doing anything else.
Unless you want to share it.
Yeah. Water B&B. Yep. I actually talked to, that's a long story, but back even before Poseidon came around on US subs, they had like the early aspects of a thing. So I emailed Bruce Jones back then, and which was, man, that was like early 2000s, and talked to Bruce Jones a little. I think it was 1 or 2 emails back and forth. It didn't last very long, and then Poseidon came and has been just dormant for 7-8 years. I think it was the last time there's any kind of update to that website. It's been quite a while. I follow Bruce Jones from US Subs on Facebook, and somebody asked him about it just like a couple weeks ago, and it seemed like it was still alive, but I don't know. My whole thing with the Poseidon is I think it was too big at the get go. It was so huge, and there's some other ones out there that are just so big. There was no groundwork done beforehand to build up to that. What's the word I'm looking for? So what I'm looking for here. I'm drawing a blank on foundation. That's the word. There's no foundation to build off of. And so they were going all in with this giant underwater hotel, which looked cool, but the costs were astronomical on the thing. But if anybody had the money, it was US Subs. If you look at some of the subs there, they build and sell too. But yeah, as US Subs, I would refresh that website all the time back in the day.
And then it would take you like 10 minutes because you had a slow internet connection.
Well, I mean, in the early days, yes, that's true. I remember it loaded. Um, yeah, actually, I contacted them a week or two ago because I was going to go there this next year, but they're actually closed all 2021, which kind of a bummer. Which it just goes to the point that at that point in time, there is nothing for man to go underwater except for Aquarius, and you have to be, either with a science group or something along those lines and approved. So it just shows that the importance of we need more underwater habitats because all 2021 is shot now for anybody that wants to spend the night underwater, and that shouldn't be.
Yeah, considering the amount of good bodies of water out there, whether they be like the really, really nice clean lakes or just like these, the resorts and stuff that have the beautiful water, the calm water, the reefs and stuff that are like within, where you can see them and everything. Yeah, I mean, it's an untapped market. It's surprising that us and like a few other people are the only ones that are like attempting to try to get the ball rolling on it, because I don't know. To me, it would seem like I take, for example, like if you were to go to like a, like I said, like a vacation resort, like a beach resort, like let's just say Cancun. I don't know if Cancun has like beautiful waters or whatever. I've never been there, but let's just say that or what would you pick? Fiji?
Sure.
Okay,
Cancun was fine too, though.
What's that?
Cancun was fine too, but yes, it's fine.
Okay. Anyways, one of these resorts, right, that has like the beautiful beachfront properties, and like people go swimming, they go deep sea fishing way off or whatever. But it's just like, why wouldn't you want to, like, say if you were like Sandals, one of these companies that is a their business is vacations really and resorts, why wouldn't you want to like add that to your, I guess, your property, be another thing that people want to come to your property for? And if you already have the, like I said, if you already have the property, if you already have the money and people are already heading there, what's one more thing? Like, why wouldn't you want to add more to separate you from like other vacation destinations, like you said, like if you were going to go to two places and you try to narrow it down, someone like you, Brendan, is probably going to pick the place that has like an underwater or like somewhere that can go diving, because that's, in your interests and it's unique or whatever. So I mean, I don't know how else what else to add to it, but I mean, there's tons of options as far as like locations. It's just a matter of like, why aren't we doing it?
Yeah, and I think when we look at a business structure too, your return on investment would be pretty good too, because say it costs $250,000 to build, just a rural rudimentary one, $250,000. Jules is charging upwards of almost $1,000 a night, depending on how you do it. So if you've got a nice reef or you got a better view than Jules does, because it's kind of in a lagoon, so it's not the best view. If you're charging $1,000 a night easy, your return on investment on a $250,000, yeah, insurance too. Which fortunately, I have family members that are in the insurance business, so I've already been talking to them about it. But we may have to do something a little more fancier than that, obviously, like Lloyd's of London or something for underwater habitat. But that's something we're also looking for early on in 2021. That's the one piece we'll let out there. So yeah, it's crazy to me that from a business standpoint, it makes sense. From just a no-brainer. I to me, it's still, I don't understand why there aren't more out there. It boggles my mind after having researched this and read as much as I can on this and talked to different people for so many years on this subject, why there aren't more out there. And I guess we're going to find out how pretty soon as we start dropping this thing in the water, if why it's so hard. But even the people I have talked to that have been involved with underwater habitats, it just sounds like it's a money issue more than anything. The desire is there, the want is there. So we'll see. But it's exciting, I think. I think also technology too. I mean, the technology has advanced so far too. It's made it a whole lot simpler than it was what was Cousteau, 50, 60 years ago when he was working on it. What would he be able to do today if he was alive now?
Yeah. And I think, yeah, if he was alive today, he had enough like credit behind to where people would probably be more willing to try to get behind it. And unfortunately, he has passed. But his grandson's trying to get it accomplished now. And once again, I mean, it's a very ambitious and cool thing that he's doing. From our perspective, it's a really big thing to start off with, and it's a lot to try to raise right off the bat too. All the power to them if they can. We'll be watching it closely and cheering them on. But we keep going back to the fact that the whole reason that this is hard to do is because a lot of people have these grand plans of doing it with these big designs that are going to cost millions of dollars more than likely. And I mean, we're trying to do it obviously as safely as possible, but as I guess financially, what's the word I'm looking for? Efficient, I guess, as possible. Like, I don't want
responsible.
Yeah, like I don't want to use the term like cheap because that makes it sound like poor quality. Yeah. Affordable. Sorry, that might have been the better. We're trying to find an affordable way of doing it because, yeah, if we can do something like you said, for throwing out the rough number of $250,000 to build a unit that people could, basically plug and play. They just drop it and people can start staying in it. That's going to be more probably attractive to people than say something that's going to cost millions of dollars. And then also with these big complex designs, there's probably more room for more issues and more setbacks and more, I don't know. The bigger the design, the bigger the liability probably too. So, I mean, we're talking basic, we're talking, sleek and, it's
nice. Yeah, we actually started off. Sorry to cut you off, Adam, but yeah, we actually started off with our podcast. We're using Zoom for quite a while. So we decided that we found this. It's called StreamYard, and it allows us to broadcast to multiple different places at the same time while seeing the chat from all of them at the same time too. So it was really nice from that standpoint, and we can bring in other people too, kind of like Zoom. So I think Zoom will probably still end up using for some of the podcasts and stuff, but just because everybody knows it and it's easier. But yeah, no, definitely. I think it's something, we may want to be picking your brain here and talking to you a little bit more here off air and maybe bring you on air too, type of thing too.
Mm-hmm. Dead air. Say something.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No, I mean, you cut me off and then I just ended up my
bad.
Thought it ended. Whatever.
Yeah, no, I wasn't trying to say anything negative to you there, Marty. I was just confirming that. Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, see, it shows me you hopped over and commented on YouTube. It's showing you comment on YouTube now instead of Facebook. So that's what I like about this program is it gives us that information. But yeah, we'd schedule something with you. Get our trains of thoughts together and stuff like that. Probably after the beginning of the year anyway, since it's going to be busy the rest of the week and stuff. But yeah, we'll be in touch and we'll talk.
Yeah, and I think that's one more thing we'll maybe touch on before we, because we've had a pretty good stream tonight so far. Is really, and obviously we'll make posts about it on our social medias and stuff. But once again, we kind of want to grow our network and maybe. I guess one thing maybe you and I need to talk about is like a good way to organize the people that do want to be involved and do want to help, whether it's like maybe it is a Zoom meeting or something that we do once in a while and we get people that whoever wants to just throw in some advice and throw in whatever. And
well, let's ask you, one thing we talked about also was having another group under the Atlantic City Colony page, which I think we already actually set up, is almost like a forum on there to talk as well.
Yeah.
But I guess what would be more beneficial is a Zoom call, every once in a while, or having an active forum that people can chat in. I think that's something for people as they're watching right now, if they want to comment, or after the fact, after you've watched this video, what works best for you guys? What would be, or both? Maybe we do both. I'm not opposed to anything, as long as it's sustainable for one thing, and that it's not a waste of people's time. I guess is a big thing too.
Yeah.
Because one thing I want to do is I'll value everybody's time. Even this, I don't like that this thing running an hour but hey, if it's got the content people are wanting to talk, I'll sit here all night long.
Yeah. Well, I might not. I do have a job that I have to go to tomorrow morning, but
yeah.
But yeah, I haven't nagged about this in a while, but one of the things I still want help with, just because and maybe I just need to be more active about it. Either way, it's trying to find people that are like really active on Reddit that can run our Reddit page for us, because we started one, we just don't post anything to it. And that's one of those things that like we could probably build a ton of connections through Reddit too. It's just I haven't been active on there to do that. So that's one thing I'll keep putting a call out to, is to see if there's somebody that can help us with the Reddit page.
And I think it's for any of our social media stuff like that too, because really, if it's not Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or LinkedIn, it's not getting much love anymore. I'm trying to use more TikTok, and I try to post like Minds and some of the other ones, but it's hard when you got so many different ones that keep content.
Yeah, and those ones aren't gonna. I mean, TikTok obviously is blowing up. I mean, that's a huge thing to start messing with. Reddit is a giant. Like I said, that doesn't die down. That has over however many hundreds of millions of users or something like that. So, I mean, yeah, there's the startup social medias that people have been tampering with, because, a lot of people have strayed away from wanting to use Facebook and Instagram, all that, which is fine. But at the same time, putting in the energy to post on these social media platforms that aren't quite as big yet, or that aren't as active, we kind of, obviously we're open to anything, because we're the connections wherever, but at the same time we have to kind of focus our energies to where we're going to get the most interactions to and meet the most people. And
I think that Reddit and TikTok are the two ones we really need to be focusing on more that we're not. But that being said, it is two guys trying to do this with what knowledge we have too, but
who work full-time jobs and take care of their families. And
I don't think they're family.
Well, you help your family.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's off the beaten path.
And you're very active in your church too.
Yeah, that's that too.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, two guys that, this isn't our full-time gig, but we're trying to be as active about it as possible. And
I put probably as much time in this as I do anything else.
Yeah, okay, you do put a lot of time into it. But I mean,
yeah,
for me, it's a part-time gig because obvious reasons. But anywho, getting people that are willing to help out with stuff, and even if it's just like, hey, can I catch your ear for a little bit and just talk to you about like what I know about this? It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to be a on-staff active member nonstop, but if it's something like, hey, I want to be able to talk to you about this, can I get your ear for a while? Can I catch you in a Zoom? Can I catch you in Skype? Whatever. Absolutely, we want to be all about that. I mean, like I said, 2021 is going to be about making the right connections with, whether it's gaining knowledge, gaining partners, whatever it is, and that's going to get us to our goal of getting this thing built. So
2021, the year of unity.
Okay.
Yeah, but
we should have two dolphins hugging, make it nautical themed.
Oh yeah.
Or like maybe like a seal and like a otter.
Anyway, do you have anything else?
Crap, we didn't make a banner for it. We have merchandise, because I got to thinking about cool logos, and then I got to thinking we have the that octopus thing.
Oh yeah.
And that was a cool little design for. I was just telling my wife today before this started. I'm like, I need to order an Atlanta Sea Colony.
I keep on. I got my shirt. I'm gonna buy a hoodie.
What is it? It's AtlantaSeaColony.com
/merch. Here, I'm going to throw in link right now the hoodie with the octopus on it. I just threw it in the chat. Well, you don't want to do that. You can't click on that.
Don't do that.
But yeah, I got ideas for some more artwork and stuff like that. But yeah, I need to order that hoodie. I want that hoodie.
I want that hoodie. Yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, I wear a lot of hats, so we got some hats. Actually,
there's beanies. Yep, there's beanies and hats in there.
Beanies and hats.
They were out.
And hats.
Yeah. Huh? They were out of the same. The beanies there for a while.
Actually, what am I doing here? Share screen. Chrome tab.
Yeah.
I can just do this.
Oh, look at there. Can you click can you click your cookies thing? Nobody wants to see that.
My cookies. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so we got start at the top here. We got some shirts, hats, coffee mugs, women's shirts because we cater to both genders.
Wayman.
Yeah, hoodies, the cool octopus design that we got here. Hoodies, shirts, coffee mugs, different baseball hats.
Yeah, it's pretty much those. We got some bags and stuff like that in there too, and we can have more stuff. This cool site gives you a lot of flexibility with what you can.
Yeah. I didn't know he threw pillows on there.
Yeah, I'll shoot you an email afterwards just to get conversation going, Marty.
You had some stuff here since I looked at it last.
Hey, we got masks too.
We got masks, stickers.
Yeah.
Anyway. Hot dang. Man, he added quite a bit of stuff on here.
Yeah.
I do like the octopus design. It's really cool.
I still want to get a shark design too.
Yeah.
But I got another idea for the octopus design. Wrapped around the logo.
We worked with an artist to be able to, get that graphic for us. And the funny story is, like, the first one they sent us, the octopus had nine tentacles on it. So we had to, like, send it back to be like, hey, just for accuracy here, can you take one of those bad boys off?
I kind of want one of those bags too. I don't know what I'd use it for, but
I don't know. Carry around your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to get this tank top here, but I'm fat, so it's just not going to work out.
Yeah, I need to start hitting the gym again. Maybe I'll get a tank top for the gym.
There you go. Get in shape just so you can wear the merchandise of Atlanta City Colony. Yeah. Water bottles. Yeah, coffee, travel mugs here. Man, you really did add a lot of stuff since the last time I looked. Book bags, computer bags, whatever.
Anyway, I think we've it's
kind of hit all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, check that out. It's AtlantaCityColony.com/merch. And
here, let me. Oh, bottom of my God.
No, okay. I'm gonna go off topic for one quick second.
All right.
Because that's bugging me. And Wiley's being a jerk. This is a nice looking controller. I don't know why he keeps making fun of it. He says it looks like crap, and it makes me mad. So I just got it today. I'm really happy about it. So Wiley, you can just not be involved in this live stream anymore if you're just gonna take pop shots like that.
Anyway,
now my wife's staring at me like.
Let's wrap this thing up.
Anyways, yeah. So, we have to talk about the Patreon real quick. Patreon and PayPal. So Patreon, www.patreon.com/AtlantaCityColony. Obviously, the holidays are winding up, but that also means, winding down. Sorry. Obviously, we completely understand that money's usually tight right around this time, but keep in mind that if it is something that you can help out with, we have like a $1 a month and $5 a month thing, to where if you can sign up for that, helps us out. Like I said, the more income that we get, the closer we get to getting this thing done. And then it's not all on Brendan just to throw his own personal money into it. But So yeah, you can do the Patreon, or if you want to do like a one-time thing, just go to paypal.me/Atlanta Sea Colony. Last week, someone donated $25. That was really cool. And not only that, but like you said, you started talking to them and just being able to, once again, build a connection with people.
Wiley says done.
Done what? Are you done like picking on me, or are you done like
No.
done as in like you signed up for Patreon?
Yeah, we've got a new Patreon member.
Do we?
Yep.
Attaboy, Wiley. Thank you. You can make fun of my controller, I guess. I'll take that. I'll take that all, I guess. But
Yes. Thank you very much, Wiley.
what a guy. We need to get him to play some games with us. But anyways.
Anyway, and then also all of our other stuff, all of our socials, everywhere to find us at.
Yeah, we at our actually, yeah, I keep saying actually, sharing the screen. If you just go back to our main page, you'll see that we have all of our stuff right there at the top. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LBRY, our podcast, our Reddit page, TikTok, Minds, LinkedIn. So yeah, and then like also right on the front page here, we got if you can do the PayPal or the Patreon. So yeah, I mean, it's all right there. We appreciate you guys for helping out with whatever you can. Thanks for tuning in. I mean, it's fun to interact with people, even if it's just some of my buddies messing with me. But we got some cool people like Marty that came in and joined us too and gave us a little bit of his background.
Very cool. Very cool. That's why
yes.
that's why I'm so thrilled to be doing this live format, because we're able to converse back and forth. I didn't think I was going to like it at first, but I'm digging it.
Yeah. And whose idea was it that we should do live streams? Just wondering. And who said it would be a really good idea to do? Huh?
Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good night.
All right. Have a good one, guys.